Weather Lab. Here's Rob's forecast.
Welcome back. Well, it looks like a severe weather threat developing for all of Acadiana tonight. We do have a tornado watch that was issued up roughly about 90 minutes ago for a good part of the area, and we got more storms moving in as we speak, and it looks like the threat of not only maybe isolated tornadoes, but storms that could produce damaging winds. Yeah, we're going to have some locally heavy rainfall, but I don't think flooding is going to be the main issue tonight. It's going to be storms that could contain damaging winds, and we have had some busy weather across southeastern Texas and into western Louisiana this evening. And here are the watches. Well, first off, we'll talk about the storm risk. And rarely do we get in this level 3 out of 5 enhanced storm risk, and that's where we are tonight. Happens about 2 or 3 times a year. Rarely do we get into the moderate risk. That's about once a year at best. So the main threat being damaging winds, about a 30% chance of storms that could contain damaging winds, roughly within a 25-mile radius of any point in the shaded area. Then we take specifically a look at the tornado potential, and anything that's hatched in here, this is roughly a 10 to 15% chance of an isolated tornado within that 25 nautical mile area of any point. So best chance of tornadoes tonight will be north of I-10, and I would certainly favor into central Louisiana and southwestern Mississippi on top of eastern Texas. So new tonight, this happened as we indicated about 90 minutes ago, a tornado watch that covers most of Acadiana with the exception of St. Martin, Iberia, and St. Mary parishes, but you'll have your turn later on tonight. That's until 4 o'clock in the morning, and we currently have a severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect for northern Allen Parish, eastern Vernon Parish, and the southwestern portion of Rapides Parish. This storm has been a nasty one all along during the course of the evening, although not looking as intense as it was a little bit earlier based on the cloud to ground lightning, but nonetheless an intense storm that could produce damaging winds. Right now it's in a heavily wooded area. Not many folks live out here, but we want to watch it for everybody overnight tonight, and that's what we'll be doing throughout the entire overnight hours. Coming in, you can see as we do a little storm tracking the possibility of rotation with this cell, and that's why there is that possibility of damaging winds, and we may see rotating storms at any time overnight tonight, and maybe storms that could produce an isolated tornado or two. You can see active all the way back through Texas with rotating storms and maybe some hail as well. That's in the mix as well, but the primary threat tonight, damaging winds and maybe isolated tornadoes. We push it off to the east, and you can see those storms and all this cloud to ground lightning. I interrogated this one storm, and we had about 1,500 cloud to ground strikes, so just multiply that by about 8 to 10. There's roughly about 8 to 10,000 cloud to ground strikes going on in eastern Texas into western Louisiana. Now locally we had the trick-or-treaters right at the end of trick-or-treat time, some showers moving in. Now we have some heavier showers developing, moving across Acadia Parish, Lafayette Parish, but nothing that is severe for right now. But as we get deeper into the nighttime hours, we're going to have to watch that as we look at some of the parameters. This is called convective available potential energy. That's this number right here, and I have these numbers plotted up for Lafayette. This is where the storms will be most boisterous through about 11 o'clock tonight, and then we get to midnight. Then you'll notice toward 1 a.m. it slowly moves eastward, and then maybe a little loss of some of that energy as the storms make their way into portions of Iberia, St. Martin, and St. Mary Parish. We'll keep our fingers crossed that is the case. This is all based off of that predictive radar that we show you. And here's the tornado potential, the significant tornado parameter. Not too terribly high. Notice we have hotter spots off to the north of us, up toward Alexandria, points to the north. So that'll be the area that we watch during the course of the overnight hours. But notice there is still some spots as we get down toward the Forked Island area, and then we'll move it on over here down toward the Pecan Island area, and mainly east of Lafayette after midnight. There will be some tornado potential. Can't rule out an EF1, EF2 tornado, and here we are. 1 a.m. It looks like some spinning going on in the vicinity of Lafayette, and certainly as somewhat of a signal as we get into Point Coupee Parish and points into southwestern Mississippi. Then 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, things quiet down. So here's the traditional look at our predictive radar. Again, scattered showers through 11 o'clock tonight. The big action to the west. Now this looks a little slow, and what we'll be watching is not the squall line, but the individual cells out ahead of it. These could could be spin-ups where we could see a tornado bear out of some of those storms. Here's 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. It's still storming, producing locally heavy rainfall. 4 o'clock in the morning. Here's 5 o'clock in the morning. Most of the heavier activity over the eastern parishes of Acadiana. And as we get closer to daybreak, it looks like the rain will be winding down. And after about 8 or 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, things should quiet down nicely. And as we look at futurecasts showing much the same, with that squall line making a headway through much of Acadiana, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, pushing off to the south and east. And after that, much better weather will follow. Maybe even a few breaks come tomorrow afternoon. As we look at rainfall, this is based off the RPM model. 2 to 3 inches of rain, quite common. Heavier amounts perhaps off to the east. And then we take a quick look at the predictive radar, which is the model that we showed you a little bit earlier. Pretty much in concert, 1 to 2, possibly up to 3 inches of rainfall. Most of that rainfall will come in a couple of hours' time, so we think maybe a little street flooding, but the water goes down by daybreak tomorrow. So windy and warm, storms on the way. Tornado watch till 4 a.m. and probably longer for the eastern parishes of Acadiana. Then storms ending around daybreak, drier, cooler with maybe a few peaks of the sun tomorrow afternoon. Rain chances dropping down to 20% by 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. And then as we go into the weekend, nice and cool with temperatures at night in the 40s, highs 60s and 70s going into the weekend, and the next opportunity for rain coming early next week. That's it for weather right now. We'll be right back right after this.